have here with us today Dr. Gerry Stegeman, who is a senior lecturer at Urban, Regional Planning and Business Management Studies at Saxion University. She is also an expert in international curriculum development and a trainer in international educational management. Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you for taking your time to speak with us. And what we're trying to do here is take all the knowledge from all the expert opinions from everyone and integrate it into our architectural education. This will be a very short interview, so we'll start. So can you please share your thoughts on the importance of assessing built environment performance in the 21st century?
Yes, of course, I'd like to share that with you and with your students and colleagues at CAT. Yes, I think assessing performance is really very important in the 21st century because, with the current situation with climate change, we can't just build for, let's say, for art's sake. We really need to build and look at performances, and not just energy performance, but there's more to it. And not just of the building as such, looking at energy performance, but also looking at how the building was constructed.
Yeah.
So where does the material come from? What kind of material? What are these effects? And another thing is that talking about the building environment is not just the building, it's also looking at the environment. So where do you place buildings or a whole neighborhood or a whole business park? Does it fit in the environment? And don't you do that? So don't you cause a lot of traffic, for example, or is it in a flood-prone area? So that kind of considerations are also important and part of the performance in the sense of is it sustainable or not. So that's are some of my observations.
So how do you think this can be integrated into architectural education?
I think here at CAT you're already applying part of what is important, because I see that you do a lot on simulations. We visited the solar lab, so that kind of elements are very important, and I think it's very important to include basic knowledge on, for example, energy performance, but also just on sustainability, because there's still so much debate about what is sustainability, and it's not something fixed. It depends on the situation, and it's very important that students work on, let's say, case studies, so that they really apply sustainability, sustainable attitude, sustainable vision to a certain situation. So that is very important. It's not fixed, and it's very important to apply it, and preferably also in a, let's say, interdisciplinary setting. So not just with architects, but with designers, planners, engineers,
yeah,
politicians. Yeah.
And what is your experience in bringing about such an integration in design, studio, or classrooms?
Yeah, as you know, I'm not an architect. I'm more of an urban and environmental planner. However, and we also work with urban designers, which has a close link, of course, to architecture. We have very good experiences with what we call city labs, which are interdisciplinary assignments with the field of work, and so with a diverse group of students working on a real case assignments, which are not fixed, and maybe they are very, the outcome is not clear, but it really helps the students to develop a critical thinking and to get out of their comfort zone and start thinking of new opportunities and new possibilities, and combine knowledge of the various study fields. So I guess that's another important thing to mention.
And usually performance is something which is measured in terms of efficiency, and, and architecture, and this is something which is visually experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think could be the new aesthetics of sustainable performance-oriented architecture, or
I can
urban?
I can understand that. For architects, they're not all only pleased about this development because they like to develop also something that is beautiful and they can be proud of. However, I think climate change is so important that this is really paramount. So this is really that should be taken into account. And I think that architects are really creative people, and they can. It's a challenge for them to include the sustainability and environmental elements into their business cases, and I'm sure that they can develop and construct beautiful buildings with these requirements, because I think it's too important to we can't close our eyes. And I think since we are in a society and in societies that are growing so fast, we have to contribute to this solving this problem, this challenge. But I think it's also a challenge. So you bring in new elements, and I'm sure that there will be wonderful experiences and new types of design, but new types of products, or I don't know, also integrated with other fields of work. So I'm sure this also will bring something good and not just a hinder for the architects.
Okay, and that's the end of the interview. Thank you so much for talking to us, and hope you enjoyed the time at CAD.
Yeah, absolutely. It was wonderful to be here. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Thank you.